There are several reasons why people are beginning to get a sense that the Congress party is preparing for an early election. On the debate tonight, Sankarshan Thakur of the Telegraph, Bharat Kumar Raut of the Shiv Sena, Piyush Goyal of the BJP, Sanjay Jha of the Congress and Kamal Farooqi of the Samajwadi Party. Before I begin, Piyush Goyal, you know, a party that took nobody into confidence and pushed the POTA through should not be questioning the ordinance route. My information is that the BJP promulgated 60 ordinances in its tenure. 60. So, you know, you may get worried and nervous about this particular ordinance being a sign of an election that will put Modi's campaign, you know, put speed breakers in Modi's campaign, etc., and appeal to a large number of voters. But don't take the high moral ground today, surely.
Arnab, when did POTA come in? What date did it come in?
Well, it happened during the Vajpayee tenure.
And why did it come in?
Do you recollect was that? The Congress party taken into confidence?
Do you recollect why it came in, Arnab? Well, it came in because terrorism was becoming a scourge. Yeah. Terrorism was having its ugly head.
Yes.
We had a parliament attack.
Yes.
Right? So kindly research the entire story, the seriousness of the crime. Now this government had 4 years. Now they promised it in their 2009 manifesto. Why did they sit over it for 4 years?
Why didn't you not call a joint session of parliament?
We never sat over POTA for 4 years.
No, one second. See, why? Fact is, did you pass 60 ordinances in your time?
Whoever said ordinances are not allowed by law. By the way, when I oppose retrospective taxation...
So they are allowed on issues that you are convinced about.
When I opposed retrospective taxation and showed how they have harmed the nation and its economy, all that the finance minister said was, I have a right to do retrospective.
In March 2002...
Who says you don't have a right to do ordinance?
In March 2002... In March 2002, nobody less than Atal Bihari Vajpayee was forced to admit that the Congress party had not been taken even into confidence before POTA was introduced. So, you know, I am talking about process. You are getting nervous about an early election.
Not at all
are you also nervous about an early election?
We are in fact welcoming it. We have our complete preparedness for the election.
Are you now prepared for an election?
I am not at all nervous because I know this is a non-starter. Forget. The bill which is the ordinance which is coming.
No, we are talking about early election.
Yeah. Let me come to that.
As one of the only two allies of the BJP, how do you view the Congress party plucking Nitish on their side, on the verge of getting Jagan on their side, having just tied up I think...
you are giving 5 reasons, 5 symptoms, I would say, by which you conclude that it is coming to... I am just still on the ordinance, possible ordinance. Don't you think this is an abuse of the parliament, of the rights? Yes, the government has a right to bring in ordinance, but it is with a proviso, it is with a condition. Justice Bhagwati had clearly said, this is not a license. Ordinance is not a license unless there is urgency. You have to prove that there is urgency. If you are sitting on 4.5 years on that, and then you are coming with an ordinance, what is it? It is
on the screen right now.
You are getting
on the screen right now.
You are preparing. You are preparing for the elections. You want to catch the opposition at such a situation where they will have no answer. But that is not true because you can't fool all people all the time.
So the fact is
you can fool some people all the time,
just a little aside. Just a little aside.
If you venture for early election, I think it will boomerang. So yes, let them go for election.
I'd like to go to Sankarshan
before that, just a little aside. Since you're showing all the allies being collected and you're trying to say we have only 2, I'm reminded of Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee's famous statement, Bhanumati ne kumbha joda, kahin ka eat, kahin ka roda. That's what this Congress UPA is trying to do, trying to get a disparate set of elements. For them now even Jagan Reddy is acceptable, even Shibu Soren is acceptable. All the discards from our side, they are just desperately trying to get.
And how do you forget? How do you forget that the same Jagan Mohan Reddy, you are arrested him? You are dismissed him for the party. But you are denied him the opportunity of being the chief minister of the state. And now you are extending olive branch to him. What does that mean? Whom are you fooling to?
Well, I think the fact of the matter is, and let's get Kamal Farooqi. The fact of the matter is, even Jagan Mohan Reddy, who was arrested during the Congress tenure, who the Congress party has been, even Jagan Mohan Reddy is not going with the BJP.
No, we don't want them with us, my friend.
Well, that's-
We don't want such scamsters with us.
Well, that's fine.
That's for them to use the
Agree.
CBI to get their people back.
Kamal Farooqi, many people are now talking about the signs of an early election. Do you think the BJP is sounding a little nervous at the prospect of an early election, short of allies, facing the possible political impact of the food security bill and possible polarization on the Modi issue? Do you think the BJP is sounding a little nervous? Kamal Farooqi.
We will not talk on that, because that is the prerogative of a government to bring in an ordinance. But Article
thought you were
123
opposing
is very clear that when it is to be brought out. No, we are definitely opposing it. We are definitely opposing it. We are saying that it is the prerogative of the government, but in the extreme circumstances. Now, we are opposing the ordinance on 2 counts. One, that the parliament is already going to happen within the next 10 days. What is so much hurry? You have been waiting for almost 9 years. Why can't you wait for just 10 more days? Number one. Number two, there are some serious reservations on the issues. We have already expressed our reservation on it. We still have our reservation on it. Why can't you take the people into confidence? We are supporting the government all along. Now, why can't they have a discussion with their allies and with the people who are supporting from outside? They are not having any discussion. Rather, they are pushing the whole thing in such a big hassle. They are trying just to, they are not for the benefit of the poor.
So,
Kamalji, you should withdraw support. You should withdraw support immediately on this issue.
I think you should withdraw Modi, because Modi is creating more problems. So don't
My
advise
God,
us, because
itna
we are
mat
very
daro,
clear
sir.
My God.
You see,
No,
on a serious note, on the
we
serious
are very
note,
clear on this.
on a serious
We are
note,
very clear on this.
on a serious
we are
note,
very clear on this.
on a very
Yes.
serious note, my next question is to Sankarshan. I am going to come back to you, Sanjay, if you are listening to this conversation. Sankarshan, nobody doubts the impact of the loan waiver scheme on the 2009 election, right? Now you have direct cash transfer on the one side. Then you have the food security bill on the other. Then you have a huge number of allies who the Congress party is lining up, as opposed to very few, only 2 left with the BJP. Do you think the political tide is beginning to turn at the real level? And do you think Modi will have to do something different to counter it?
It's too early to say that, Arnab. I think what you've done is, my gut sense is what you've done tonight is very charming journalism. Is to add up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and make it 542 or whatever the number is. My sense is the political tempers are such at the moment in the country that the Congress would like, I may be entirely wrong on this, but would like a cooling off period. A cooling off period where they push through certain ordinances or bills, or in whatever shape they do, they stitch up their alliances. These things take time. I mean, early elections 4 months from now, or elections on time 8 months from now, 9 months from now, I don't think there's a critical difference. I think the only critical milestone that intervenes is the elections, assembly elections in a few major states.
Sankarshan, I have been accused and credited with a lot of things, but nobody ever has said that I do charming journalism. So I thank you for that wonderful epithet, which I shall remember. I shall remember and get it autographed by you next time, because I don't think any politician thinks I do charming journalism. But thank you for saying so. But tell me, Sankarshan, my sources are telling me right now, and I don't know if this is correct, but I am told the President of India is giving very serious and thoughtful examination to this ordinance, because there are more than 70 amendments pending in Parliament. So, Sanjay Jha, my question to you is the following. If you are not going to push for an early election, tell me, why do you take this kind of a risk? You antagonize the entire opposition. You antagonize the parliamentary system. You isolate people who support you, like the Samajwadi Party. You are risking the re-examination of this very controversial ordinance now by your own president, by your own Rashtrapati. Unless you are going headlong into an election, why would you do something as suicidal as that?
Arnab, 2 points. Number one, I don't know whether you are charming or not, but definitely Piyush Goyal is not going to be warming himself to the people whom he causes political discards. So I do hope for the sake of BJP's future, 2/3 of NDA is right now on your panel. That's the BJP and Shiv Sena. I hope Mr. Piyush Goyal is not managing coalitions for them, because if Nitish Kumar is a political discard, they clearly have a lot of insensitivity to their goes to show that the wave is in favor of UPA 3 coming back to power, and that shows the confidence of the people and everybody else alike.
You just didn't answer my question. I don't know why you just chose not to
despite
answer
the
my
boisterous laughs.
And just, by the way, has he already given up that these allies are going to come back to the NDA? When he's becoming so
He's
sympathetic.
accusing you of being disrespectful to.
Yeah, but he's already suspecting that they're going to come back to the NDA when he says, I'm not managing the coalition.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
He's accusing you of being disrespectful to potential allies. But Sanjay, why did you completely dodge my question? I mean, I have had the occasion of discussing several subjects. You slightly dodged the question, but on this one you completely dodged it. My question to you was, the Rashtrapati, a person who goes by the book, isn't it, Sankarshan Thakur? Pranab Mukherjee is going to go by the book on the ordinance. What does the book say? The book says an ordinance can be brought in certain circumstances. You think Pranab Mukherjee will risk his constitutional position, and risk being criticized in the future by passing an ordinance on which there are potentially 70 amendments waiting in Parliament? And my question to you is, unless you had decided you were going for a December election, why would you do something as suicidal as that? Please answer my question and don't get distracted by throwing your attention on Piyush Goyal.
All right. All right. No.
I'm not as charming as you, Arnab.
Using his boisterous laughter to make all kinds of castigations on us. So let me just address your question. It's been said before on your panel by previous Congress spokespeople that as far as the food security bill is concerned, this is not a question of any politics or elections at all. Let me repeat that. Because hunger is frankly speaking not an issue which is anything other than emotional, and it's a human issue. I think to try and trivialize it by saying that you might get votes from people who might benefit from it is, I think, taking away from the core of the subject.
No.
Now,
so
when governments anywhere in the world announce a policy, there are certain constituencies that benefit.
What happened in the last 60 years? What happened in the last 40 years? What happened in the last 10 years?
Let me finish. America, President Obama has signed a major immigration bill that might benefit the Hispanics who might vote for him. But the bill is not meant for the Hispanics to vote for him. It has got a larger constituency and issues to address.
The Americans are not going to vote for you.
The government is actually addressing the issue of hunger. Exactly. Let me tell you, we are looking at the welfare of the people in India who need our attention. We are not going to be distracted by any political...
What about the assurance of the assurance of the Prime Minister of India?
And I think it's allowed as per Constitution.
What about the assurance of the Prime Minister of India who in May 2013 said, 1 minute, in May 2013 the Prime Minister of India said we are determined to make an act of Parliament. When he was asked the question about whether they are looking at an ordinance, May 2013.
It will be an act of Parliament.
What changed?
It will be an act of Parliament. It will have to be passed by Parliament.
Don't argue technically. Don't argue.
No, 1 minute.
Technical argument.
1 minute. It's not a technical argument. No, you posed a technical question, so I'm giving you a technical answer. It has to be passed by Parliament. And by the way, this entire false, publicity being created by the BJP against the ordinance is weak. I'll tell you why. Because the ordinance at no point says that you can't discuss. Ordinance does not say that it will be discussed in Parliament before the public of India. Amendments can still be incorporated.
On a serious note, on a very serious note, Sanjay, listen, Sanjay, you watched political parties take risk when they have something in mind. Now, if the elections were to be in May, then you can push through a lot of the things you are pushing through. You can polarize the debate closer to May. Why would you do it now? What has changed between May, when the Prime Minister said that, and July? Why are they risking the re-examination of the issue by the president? There must be some deeper explanation. There has to be a strategy, Sankarshan, that the government is playing to. What is that?
Arnab, my understanding is that such complex decisions as a food security bill do not get implemented overnight. I can very well understand, and I do believe that this is part of the Congress's, courtship overtures, such as you see on the National Geographic Channel or Animal Planet, and the BJP is doing that as well, and you will see more and more of this in the months to come. But the point is, these things take time to filter down to the constituency that they are intended for. I think all political parties, before elections, reach out to people, try to tell them that this is what I've done for you, this is what I can do for you, this is what I promised to do for you,